Hello, hello, hello. How is everybody? All right, so I'm just going live today to review Jay Embree's latest video. It's not necessarily like a personal attack or anything, but I just found some of the stuff he was saying was kind of interesting and highly incorrect. So that's what we're gonna do for right now. How is everybody doing today? All right, well, some of you guys said you're doing good. I'm glad to see it. And let's get started. No sound? Oh, you know why? I could fix that. Because when I flipped over here, it said, or it like flips the tab for some reason. But that's okay.
It was very
You guys haven't missed anything.
difficult for her to follow when I got to the map portion, and I agree with her because that is a complicated thing to get across. So what I've done is I've actually reshot that portion of it in a different format where I think it makes it a little bit easier for you to grasp. Good thing I did as well, because when I did it, I realized I'd made a mistake on the original, so I was able to correct it on this one.
Look, I'll cut the malarkey. We're facing a critical fundraising deadline.
Thanks, Joe, for cutting the malarkey.
So let's get started.
Okay, so we know for a fact that once Mr. Koberger's phone starts reporting to the network at 4:48 a.m., that's where the cast data is going to be extremely accurate. It's going to pick up his location, and they were able to track him. So we're going to assume everything is very accurate from that point. Now, where did it pick him up? South of Blaine, north of Genesee on Interstate 95, somewhere in this area right here. So this is where his phone reports to the network.
Now, we're 30 seconds into him talking about this, and everything he said right here is incorrect. If you read the PCA, it's highlighted. It says the 8458 phone does not report to the network again until approximately 4:48 a.m., at which time it utilized cellular resources that provide coverage to Idaho State Highway 95 south of Moscow, Idaho, near Blaine, Idaho, north of Genesee. It does not say that that's where he was. It says he connected to a tower that covers that area. So that's wrong. You can't place him there. And if any of you guys have watched the last hearing, they keep asking, well, Ann Taylor keeps asking Payne and Cy Ray about these advanced timing reports. That's what would give them the data in order to pinpoint exactly where Brian was, but they don't have it, so they have no idea where he is at 4:48. All they can see is the tower that he connects to at 4:48, not where he is. They have no idea where he is. Let's continue.
Now, that is 4:48 a.m. 4:48. I'm writing with a cursor here, folks. A.m., okay? From there, they track his car through the cast data, because there aren't any cameras on this route. down here to Cow Creek Road, where he would come across and then get back on 195 and take it north. And he's going to come all the way up, excuse my line there, I'm following this road, into Pullman this way, and end up about right here at 5:30 a.m. 5:30. So we know if it's 4:48 right here, it's 5:30 right here, this trek is obviously 42 minutes. So we'll just go ahead and write that up here, 42 minutes. Now that is what is known, okay? That's from the cast data. Now his cast data also showed, and we're going to go to the next map for this. Okay, so also the cast data
You're gonna have
shows
to get
that
used
Mr. Koberger was heading this direction.
asking questions that
but
might
right
make you a
here
little bit
at
uncomfortable.
2:47 a.m., his phone stops reporting to the network. So no more cellular cast data can locate his vehicle. All right, so everything between 2:47 right here, when his phone stops reporting to the network, and 4:48 way down here, south of Blaine, north of Genesee, where his phone starts reporting to the network again, they have no idea where his car is or where he is or where his phone is based on cast data. Okay, so all the discussion about the cast data has nothing to do with this 2 hours and 1 minute of time that his phone wasn't reporting to the network. All they have is conjecture and video during that time to try to explain where Mr. Koberger was.
But if the cast data is so accurate, why are they telling us where he connects to that covers an area, not where his phone is at? That's the biggest issue from the PCA right here.
So here's what the prosecution is going to try to say happened. He was heading down right here. His phone stops reporting to the network right here. They're going to use conjecture to say that Mr. Koberger took 270 across to Moscow, and somewhere about right here was picked up on video from Floyd Cannabis's shop. Somewhere in this general area. And then proceeded from there into Moscow, where he was picked up on a camera on Steiner at 3:26.
Now the issue right here is that he was caught on Indian Hills Drive, which is down here, a little bit southeast of where he's saying he is. That's not that big of a deal, like where the first camera is that sees him, but that is incorrect.
And then circled the residence until 4 a.m., parked, sped away at 4:20, headed up down 95 to somewhere down here south of Blaine, north of Genesee, where the cast records picked him up at 4:48. Okay, so this is all based on video from businesses and residences and conjecture. Okay, folks? Here's what the defense is going to do to this, because let's think about it for just a second. If you are Mr. Koberger, whether guilty or innocent, you know which route you took, and you know which route you didn't take. So if you didn't take 270 and get caught on camera at Floyd Cannabis's shop, you would know that, and you would be able to express that to your defense. So all they then have to do is go through the piles of discovery, find the video of the vehicle from Floyd Cannabis's shop, and then get an expert to dive into it and figure out how he can disprove that that wasn't Mr. Koberger's car. And you know that they've done that already, or they wouldn't have put in their alibi statement that that is not Mr. Koberger's car that was captured on camera at Floyd Cannabis's shop. They would not put that statement in there if they didn't have verifiable proof that that wasn't his vehicle. And I'm sure that wasn't too hard for them to disprove. So here's what is easily provable for the defense, and this is all they have to.
Easily provable for the defense, which is partly true, but it's not what actually will happen.
All they have to prove. Because this area that I've got circled, this is the area where all the cameras are, okay? The areas that we're going to talk about, there are no cameras. And that's the area that Mr. Koberger, I believe, took. And I believe that Ms. Taylor, all she has to do is prove a couple of small points about it. And it's going to throw their entire thing into disarray with this. Because, let me show you. Okay, folks. So, you've got what the defense is saying in the alibi statement. Koberger, when his phone stopped reporting to the network at 227, he didn't take 270. He went south and west towards Wawawe Park. By taking this route, and this is all that she has to prove is what I'm saying right here. He gets to Wawawe, he could have made an immediate turnaround because that's 27 minutes from up here in Pullman to Wawawe. Now we know he didn't go back up and across 270 because the cameras would have caught him, and they didn't. So the route he takes is the same route that he took coming home. He just goes over, down, around Cow Creek Road, back up to north of Genesee, south of Blaine, right here, and that's 38 minutes. So what did we just figure out? Well, that's an hour and 5 minutes, folks. If his phone stopped reporting to the network up here at 227.
But his phone disconnects at 2:47, which is 20 minutes off of this, so it throws off his entire math, which is interesting because he said 2:47 earlier, so I don't know why he mixed this up, but it messes everything up.
And if he's right here in an hour and 5 minutes, and that's if he doesn't stop for anything, he just drives continuously, then what time is it right here? Well, you add an hour and 5 to 227, and you've got 3:32. That's if he doesn't stop at all. Well, guess where he couldn't be if he's right here at 3:32? He couldn't be on Steiner Avenue at 3:26. He couldn't do it.
See, he gets the part where if you go to the park, you can't be the car on camera, which is true. But he's saying that the phone is somewhere in between Blaine and Genesee, which there's no proof of. And then in a minute, you'll see this. He goes further up, and that just throws everything off. It just doesn't make sense.
It's another 19 miles from here up to the house on Cleveland Street. Or excuse me, 19 minutes. 19 minutes back. So you can add another 38 minutes to it right there. So at 3:32, you add 38 minutes. So that puts it at 4:10 a.m. Okay? And why am I doing this extra for you? I'm going to show you.
And I think that house on Cleveland Street is where he says those drug dealers lived. I think that's why he's saying that he went up there. But I think when the truth comes out for where Brian was, he didn't go to Moscow or near Moscow, which is a big issue with this. But again, he's basing this off of this 2:27 time, which even earlier in this video he said was 2:47 when his phone disconnected. So I don't know how he's getting to this.
Because he's picked up right here at 4:48. So that means he's got 38 minutes. 38 minutes to spend a little time right here to pick up what he's picking up, and spend a little time right here to kill a little time on his drive. And I'm going to show you what's coming up, why this is plausible and why this is going to make the most sense. Now, this is easy for the defense. All they have to do is prove what I just said right here.
They're not going to prove what you just said, though, because what you just said was wrong, and you're basing it off of a time that you already said in this video is incorrect. So, not going to happen.
Because if he's right here at 332, he can't be up here on Steiner, okay? But what I'm going to prove is that he did go up to Cleveland, come back down, and what the real reason for the cast records and the cast data was for. And I'll do that coming up.
And there you have it, folks. Now, as you know, I was supposed to release this one last
There you have it, folks.
night, and I didn't.
Let's look at something real quick. I'm just going to use this tower as an example. I have pretty good authority that this tower's wrong, but I'm going to read the PCA again just to make this clear. It says the 8458 phone does not report to the network again until approximately 4:48 a.m., at which time it utilized cellular resources that provide coverage to Idaho State Highway 95, South Moscow, blah, blah, blah. What it's saying is that he connected to a tower that covers that area. Now, I have a tower that's pulled up here that covers. Here's Blaine up here. Here's Genesee. It covers down in this area, south of Moscow, near Blaine, north of Genesee, but it also covers down here into Washington. So if you connect to the tower while you're in Washington, the tower still provides coverage south of Moscow, near Blaine, north of Genesee, but you can't place them there because that's not what the PCA says. So, Mr. Embree, if you do watch this, it's not an attack on you or anything, but I do encourage you to
this attack happened.
check out Cy Ray's channel, his latest episode. It says down here, Psycho Husband Buries Wife Alive, episode 33, X marks the spot. He goes into the timing data and why it's so important, and without it, you can't track a cell phone. They have no idea how far away from the tower he was when he reconnected at 4:48. In the last hearing, Ann Taylor keeps asking Payne about the timing or advanced timing report. They don't have it. They have no idea where his phone was when it reconnected. So you can't say he was anywhere near Blaine or Genesee. It's just not going to work. It can't be done. So there you guys have it. Jay Embree's latest theory, it's all wrong. And I hope he watches this and corrects it because he does get a lot of views and a lot of people believe what he says. I'm not going to say everything that he says is wrong, but this video is pretty inaccurate, to say the least. What do you guys think? I'm going to link this video. I hope you guys have all watched it. It's good. I hope Jay Embree watches it. You're crushing on Cy. Cy is pretty cool. I do like it. His videos are good. Everything he says is good. So yeah, does anybody have any questions or? How do you feel about Cy's hats, Meg? Is Cy tall? Yeah, he's a 6'1", 6'2". He's a little bit taller than I am. Yeah, Cy's pretty smart. Cy does have those broad shoulders. I wonder if that hat shot will have like an increase in sales since I talked about them. That would be kind of funny. All right. Well, I don't really see any questions. That's all I had to talk about right now. I might go live again later. We'll see. But for now, I will see you guys later. Peace.